Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Parc'd podcast by Park Fam. Welcome back to the Felipe Nasser episode. It's episode number 12. We're naming each of these episodes after drivers until we physically cannot. No, I feel like when we get to a point where we physically can't name it after drivers, that's when we start like season 2. So obviously this is season 1 of the Parc'd podcast. And as soon as we hit like 99, which is Antonio Giovinazzi, we do an episode 100, and then we start again.
Yeah.
Okay. My phone is vibrating. So, obviously last week we covered Formula 1, Abu Dhabi, end of the season, because we yammered so much. And Naomi actually had to dip to uni. I don't know if Naomi's actually watched the podcast.
I did spot the end. And I was like, hold on. I was like, why is there a bit with 3 people? I was like, hold on, what is happening? And then I was like, oh, that's fair. I was like, I was really confused. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what is happening?
We're gonna cover F2 Abu Dhabi this week. So this episode is all things Abu Dhabi, probably with a splash of F1 at the end, because obviously there's F2 news involving F1. So yeah, we're here. Would you guys like to start off with the quiz or the guess who before we get into everything to lighten the mood?
Yeah, let's do the guess who first.
You wanna do the guess who first?
Yeah, because I feel like the quiz is this big thing this week, so.
I've got so little brain power today. I'm not sure what I'm going to be for that.
Oh my god, guys, you'll notice that Naomi sounds clear as fuck this week. It's because we finally fixed Naomi's microphone, so it works!
Hopefully it stays like this.
Oh,
Hopefully.
we can pray. Oh, so you want to do the guess who first?
Yeah, let's do the guess who first.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Go on with the karting question.
Fact number 1. This driver started karting in 2008 and he karted for 8 years. So a long karting career.
And a pretty new driver, I guess.
So 8 years.
I'm thinking about that.
Can you do 8
like
plus 8?
2019?
8 plus 8.
Come on, Naomi, you got this.
Go on, Naomi.
2016 is when he started 6 years.
Karting till 26, that's okay. Young driver, I guess.
Yuki. I don't know, he's a young driver. It could be any of the new ones, but I'm just shouting a name.
I'm going with Felipe Drugovich.
I'm going for Felipe Drugovich.
Just because I love Felipe Drugovich.
I'm going for Felipe because Formula 2. And let's go to our sponsors for this short break. Bus Pro style.
Okay. With an itchy armpit. Okay, fact number 2. This driver has never won a feeder series championship.
Ever. Oh.
Ooh.
Who's P2? I don't even know who's P2 in Formula 2. I'm so behind on Formula 2. Oh, no. Teo.
Yeah, I was going to say Frederick Festi, maybe.
Or Logan. No, I'll go Logan. Because he's the rookie.
Arnie is moving up and stuff. Okay. Fair point.
I have an itchy chin. My hair tickled it. This driver has only ever attended one Macau Grand Prix.
Ooh. I love me a good Macau Grand Prix.
Love a Macau Grand Prix.
I love
Macau.
I know he definitely did one.
He did one, yeah?
He did one with Carling, I think. I don't think he did any more because he was a rookie in 2019 in F3. Yeah. And then 2020 obviously was cancelled. 21 it was cancelled.
I still don't have
Logan?
like a really solid name. I'm going towards the F2 grid just because of the karting and stuff.
I'm going Logan.
This driver has driven as a part of the European Le Mans series.
I think. You're okay, so young European Le Mans drivers.
No, Logan. I'm sticking with Logan.
Did he do
Whatever he
European
has,
Le Mans? I don't think he did
no idea.
Valves.
Let's go. It's so good.
European Le Mans Series.
I don't
Still getting
think.
Logan.
I don't think he did Elms, to be fair.
I don't know. I have like some sort of tiny recognition in my brain that he did it, and I don't know why, but I feel so mini, tiny.
I need another fact. I'm still lost.
I don't think Alice is going to love having to edit all of this out.
Love you editing, Alice.
Thank you, editing, Alice.
Okay, fact number 5. This driver has been a part of an F1 Academy team.
That's everyone. That's everyone. Bro.
You're such a sneaky. So sneaky.
I love how I was like, they were in, they karted, they did Macau Grand Prix, and they were in the F1 Academy team, and you guys are like, that's fucking everybody on this stupid ass grid.
Literally.
It is. It literally is. Apart from like 1 or 2 people.
Would you like fact number 6?
Yes,
Yeah.
I need it.
This driver is the only driver to graduate from F2 to F1 for the 2023 season.
Let's go, Naomi.
I would.
Congrats.
None of you
That's
guys,
like 2 weeks in a row.
none of you guys spent any time on social media, clearly, because
No.
literally European Le Mans Series posted a post for Logan to say congrats on going to F1.
Was it Racing
I
Team
don't
Turkey?
follow that.
Huh?
Was it Racing Team Turkey?
Good question.
Because I think it is.
Because I was
And that's what I
searching,
recognised.
his middle name is Hunter.
He's
Hunter?
American, of course it is.
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
European Le
That's
Mans,
it.
yeah, Racing Team Turkey. He did 2 races.
Oh,
He
I'm
got
so good.
pole position
You're
in 1
really
and they got
good.
19th.
You're really good.
Yeah,
That's insane.
he has never won a single seater championship.
Because remember,
Yeah.
he almost won F3 and then binned it.
He finished 2nd in the Formula 4 UAE Championship, 3rd in the F4 British Championship. He came 3rd at Macau, and then came 3rd in the FIA Formula 3 Championship in 2020.
Nice.
Random Logan Sargent
Intriguing.
facts.
Well done.
Both of the quiz and the guess who both roll into these, so we can discuss a little bit F2. I thought Logan Sargent rolled us nicely into the F2 weekend.
I'm screwed because I know nada about F2.
Too much.
Nice.
But not as much for this year. I feel like I
So my
lacked
aim is
F2
to
this
get 1
year.
point in this quiz. My aim is
But
to
you're
get
very
1
good
point.
at coming back with these quizzes.
Oh no, yeah, but that was F1. That's stuff that I've watched. I'm not gonna lie, I've been so busy with like other things that I just didn't watch F2.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I've watched bloody more British F4 races than I have
Mhm.
bloody F2.
Yeah.
Like,
I would just like to apologise briefly to the Parked Up listeners. I promise the cuts. I apologise for the cuts. I apologise for my slight mental absence. I'm being a nice friend to Naomi, and I'm trying to.
He's being a legend. I love Alice.
I'm sorting out uni stuff for Naomi at the same time.
She's helping me.
So I promise I'm not being ignorant to this. I swear. I'm trying to do a good deed.
You're very good.
He's being a legend.
I keep doing that all the time now. Literally,
Yeah.
any minor inconvenience, I'm just like.
That's all I do. It's
Celeste
so
can't
bad.
relate. Celeste can't relate.
So bad. Fucking hell.
So,
Yes.
Logan Sargent, the only driver on that F2 grid that is going to F1 this year, finished
Crazy.
4th in the championship, managed to secure his super license points after the weekend.
Yes.
Which race did you wait into the last one?
Yeah, it was down. Yeah, it was
the
down
feature
to the
race.
last one.
Obviously,
Yeah.
he did a lot of FP1 sessions as well to help get the points, because obviously you get points for doing FP1 sessions on your super license. I don't know how to feel about it.
I think there's better drivers out there who deserves the seat more.
I completely agree.
I'm
Like,
yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think, go on.
no, I was gonna say, like, I'm not discrediting Logan as a driver. He's a good
No,
driver.
not at all.
But
Yeah.
the fact that he hasn't won anything in feeder series, he finished 4th this year, which means there are 3 drivers on the grid better than him.
Yes.
It's
I
just,
just
it's
think
annoying
it's
because
very. You go. That's fine. No,
I
you
was
go.
gonna say it's just annoying because, like, you know, you already have obviously like people like Mick losing his seat, and he's F2 champion. He's losing his seat because his team are incompetent. And then you have, as you said, the people that are literally quite literally better than Logan on the grid not getting a seat either. It's just a bit annoying.
I do think, though, it does prove that being a part of a driver academy can help you. Because the
Works.
fact a seat at Williams could open up, and that he was the only person close enough in the Williams academy to actually be able to get into a seat meant that as long as he got the points, he could get in it immediately. And because obviously he's worked with Williams for a year and a bit, he's, you know, he's accustomed to the team, how the team work. He's done simulator stuff, you know, he knows how to mesh into the role, which obviously does come in his, you know, favour compared to, you know, the other drivers. But I think the fact that he was in the Williams academy helped him. If he was in a different academy, I think it'd be a different story on whether he's having this seat or not.
I think 100%.
I think F1 has had like such a push recently of like trying to get like everything more to do with America, like more races in America, and now suddenly there's an F1 driver. He's gonna have like 3 home races.
Yeah,
really,
they've been wanting American drivers for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think there aren't too many American drivers, but I think there are more drivers that probably would be better than. Obviously, you might turn around. Williams could build an absolute fucking star of a car next year. I doubt it, but they'd be able to build like this amazing sort of like Red Bull challenging car, and he might do well. But from watching that FP1 that he did, where in the 3rd corner of his outlap he spun, I think we're getting another Latifi.
It did make me think, though, maybe it wasn't Latifi all along. Maybe it was the car.
His fault.
Maybe it wasn't Latifi.
I think the thing is, with Logan, like, he clearly does have talent. If you see his like F3 kind of runs and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, the Williams just isn't an easy car to start with. You can't show your talent in a Williams. We know that from George. And it's difficult.
No, George Russell showed his talent in that Williams.
He did, but he could do better, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, he could definitely.
That man got a podium in a Williams.
Oh, don't I'm still emotional about that.
I do think it took a lot of like determination and time for George to do that, and George is the kind of person that has that, you know, confidence and has that calmness and just, you know, does that. But I think if you're a young driver, a rookie driver, normally they just want to do good, they want to win, they want to go. So to get into that Williams and to have to sort of wait and to be calm about that, I don't know if that's a good spot to be in for a rookie driver.
Yeah, I think it's because like George Russell was so determined to make it big. He was willing to take a step back for a moment and help build a team. He, you know, he dedicated a lot of time and energy and everything into Williams so that his car could compete to where his car was able to compete to. A lot of the time, 19th in his first year, to be fair. He did much better in his 2nd season, and his 3rd season at Williams. And that was obviously proof that, you know, after he managed to take time to work with the team to build that car, and all Williams always say is that, like, George helped build that car to get it to where it was. Would Logan also be that committed and dedicated to help a team until he can get to a higher position, or is he going to be, you know, kind of like, I'm driving an F1, that all that kind of matters? Like, obviously if you drive an F1, you want to win a championship, you want to win races, but the difference is whether you're willing to take the step back to help grow, or whether you just want to get in and go and don't think about anything else, put all faith into the team, and for him, Alex Albon, to help.
Yeah, I think another thing with Logan, he obviously, I mean, he had quite a lot of financial backing before his whole situation.
Yeah.
If anybody knows like that, obviously I think it was his father that got done for forgery in the US, and basically he lost all his funding, literally almost didn't have a seat for 2020, was it? Or 21.
21.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously that wasn't his fault per se. But that was like a big thing, and having an American on the team with 3 American races, it's instantly going to boost your marketing in America, especially when it's the only American on the grid. And I found it interesting with that because I don't know if you guys saw, and this was probably one of the weirdest things I've seen in a very long time, was Enzo Fittipaldi joining Red Bull Racing. Yeah. I was like, that's weird. But like Enzo and Pietro, I know they race under the Brazilian license, but they are American drivers. So I was like, oh, that's interesting that they're again playing on that kind of like American thing.
Well, I think going back to your point, by the way, of obviously using Logan being American for marketing has already been proven, because Williams, throughout the American Grand Prix, through all the like South American Grand Prix and stuff like that, they were using Logan for the marketing of it over Nicholas Latifi. Everything was Alex and Logan. Everything on social media was Logan, and they were already playing into that marketing factor. And he's not even a member of the team. He wasn't even a member of the team at that point.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see how quickly they instantly jumped on that. So it's going to be crazy to see what they do next year with him being at all 3 of the American Grand Prix.
Yes.
Yeah. I think with obviously that Guess Who, like him never winning, he hasn't won a feeder series championship. I think it's kind of like he's getting thrown very much into the deep end of like F2, F3, F4 championships aren't as long as what this new proposed. Obviously, was it 23 or 24? 24, but it's possibly 23 because they're saying they might not replace.
China's going to get cancelled.
Yeah, but they're saying that they might not find a replacement race for it.
They're not going to.
No, so 23 then. But
does that mean that Pierre Gasly gets a weekend off from adding to his race ban before he gets it taken away?
Yes, because China's
in April.
Yeah.
China's an early race.
You know what was also like, well, another like really nice thought was it was when they were doing the postseason testing. And I got a bit like emotional at this because I started watching like F1 and like all motorsports in 2020. All 3
DTS
Prema drivers in 23.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. I have nothing against DTS fans. It's a joke. I just like bullying Naomi.
It's true. All 3 Prema drivers from 2020 were in F1 cars in the postseason test. And I got very emotional at that because obviously Oscar was in the McLaren, Logan was in the Williams, and Fred was in the Merc.
Yeah.
And also, I was just like, oh, so emotional.
Yeah,
can't do it.
So I had that pleasure back in a 2019. And I get to watch my boys.
It's a lot.
Oh no, to be fair though, it does make me a bit emotional now because in 2019 my F2 boys that I loved were George, Alex, Lando and Nick, and obviously now all 4 of them are in F1, so like that makes me a little bit emotional.
I so forget Nick's on the grid next year.
I love the fact that it's literally the 2019 rookies, like replay again, but not even just like 3 rookies again, but 3 rookies in the exact same teams.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's not because it's Toro Rosso and like AlphaTauri,
Right.
but it's
So
it's
Lewis Hamilton's winning the championship.
exactly.
Don't
Confirmed.
tease me like that.
Let's do it.
Did you see? I know we're talking about F2, but if you do want to talk a bit about some racing that's happened this week, Extreme Week. So it was the last round of the race of like
Oh, it was
the
in Neon,
championship.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it in Neon?
No, it's in Uruguay.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And
They lost
so
today.
it came down to the last race.
You said Uruguay. I said they lost today.
They did. But it came down to like the last race, and it was between Lewis's team and Nico's team.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And Nico's team got disqualified, which then meant that if Lewis's team didn't win the race, they didn't win the championship, but they won the race, and Lewis's team won the championship.
Oh, king
Let's go, my
shit.
boy.
Because Nico's team got disqualified.
Yeah, I
That's
remember I
actually
watched
funny.
the Neon like stage of it, and I was like, yeah, I was like McLaren, they crossed the line first, and they've got there's like some weird rule in Extreme E that basically if they knock one of the flags, if it goes all the way down and doesn't come back up, it's classed as track limits, and that they haven't actually got that point at that point, and they went over the flag the first time and it went down and then really slowly bounced back up, and all the commentators were like, that's not a penalty, that's not like a 10-second penalty. And then they went back to another bit and she literally like the flag's here and she just plows straight into the flag and the flag stays down, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's a penalty. But went from first to fifth, which meant I Carlos Sainz.
I found it really difficult to get into Extreme E. I don't know.
Same.
Yeah. It's got a really good concept. It's like the whole idea of having a male and a woman driver and having like the whole they have to swap the seats out.
Yeah.
Like it's not as if the seat, because obviously the seat's two different sizes. They actually have like an inner lining for the women.
Yeah.
So like, they'll put that in, and then the men have to take that out, and obviously gets like buckled in. It is a good concept, but it's just a bit. I don't know.
It's a great concept, great racing. It's competitive. It's got great coverage, but I mean, for me, like one of the big things is that it's not live.
Yeah.
I know it's like when they broadcast it, it's not live. Like they've pre-filmed it.
Oh, that's weird.
And then they released the broadcast later, claiming it's live, but everyone's like, we know it's not live.
Yeah,
and I don't like that because it was the first weekend, and we knew that they were doing this. Like it was talked about quite a lot on like Twitter and stuff. And there was like a really, really bad crash. It was like, okay, we know this isn't live. Can you just like tell us if they're okay or what? Like it was just like it was really weird. And and that wasn't like my breaking point, but like I watched the first weekend and I watched a good couple of weekends after that, and I just could not get into it. I'll give it another go because I'd love to, but it's I don't know.
I love what they're doing because like everywhere they go, they spend however many days contributing to that part of like the environment, because obviously it's like all to do with saving the environment. So like they went, I don't know where they went, but one of them, they did like conservation efforts with like the sea turtles, and then they did like an ice race. It was like I don't know whether it's in Antarctica, but it was somewhere like cold, and they were doing like ice conservation. And it was it's good. There's like a good educational aspect of it, but the educational aspect isn't covered enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like it's just another race in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
See, because whereas
I just think we need to promote it more.
Yeah, like Formula E, whenever you watch a race weekend, everything is about the environment. You attend a Formula E race, everything is about the environment.
Yes,
literally everything. Like you
Mm-hmm.
cannot turn anywhere at Formula E race without seeing something to do with the environment. You can't, like, during a Formula E race weekend, they always mention multiple things about, you know, the environment, which I think is good. They're living up to what they're, you know, planning to do. And I feel like if you are going to be an environmentally friendly race series, you need to continue to follow that through.
But the one other thing about it though is that where they race in such remote locations, there's no fans there to watch it, so they haven't got that aspect of
The atmosphere.
like when you go to Formula E. Yeah, when you go to
That's
Formula E,
so
the
weird
people
as
watch it.
well.
There's the only one where I think they had some sort of fans was the one that they did on the Jurassic Coast in the UK, and that was because people could walk along to the side of the track and watch it like that.
Yeah.
But the other ones, when it's out in like the middle of like a Saudi Arabian desert, or it's in the middle of like a rainforest or something, there's no fans there to watch it, so there's no coverage of it that way. So it's purely on watching a broadcast.
I think we all learned from the 2020 season that the atmosphere makes the difference.
Yeah, I think with that, it's like it does. Not but, because I do agree with your point, like, massively. I do quite like the environment that they've made there, though, with all the teams. It's like they've got their own like little family. Like the teams are the fans, and yeah, it would be a lot better if there were fans there. But
yeah, I feel like that's something that deteriorates people from getting involved, because like, could you imagine falling so in love with something and never being able to like experience it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's a weird one, because it's like obviously I think the fact it's so like new is like it's a lot, and like trying to learn everything. And it's in its
second year.
Please tell me it's second and not third.
Second.
Because otherwise that messes with my brain.
It didn't start in 2020, did it?
No, I don't think so.
I think
I distinctly remember it starting in 2021, unless I've like.
I remember the day. I literally remember the first weekend it started.
Yeah, no. It's going into its third year. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, even though it's like in going into its third year, it's changed the way it works about 1 billion times. Like sometimes even mid-weekend, and it's a lot to like catch up with. Like the concept that it was with the first race changed even into the second race. It's like it's a lot to keep up with. I'm sorry, I've really gone off topic here. We were talking about Formula 2. But yeah.
I do want to say though, before we get into Formula 2, I have something I want to bitch the fuck about, and this is the only way I can segue the fuck into it, because environment, Formula E, also environment, Formula E, what the fuck have you done? What the fuck have you done?
Oh my god, literally.
I hate it.
Livid. I hate it. I hate it.
So ugly.
I hate the new logo. I hate all
it?
of the new. I hate all the new thingy. But I did see someone on Twitter make a very, very good point. They have changed everything to the point that now people can't go on the fucking website and understand a single thing, because it's not dyslexia friendly anymore.
No.
Because of their fonting and everything they've used, it's no longer dyslexia
It's a
friendly.
mess.
It looks. It no longer does it look horrific. The whole vibes are off. The vibes do not match Formula E at all. And on top of that, it's no longer, friendly for everyone.
And someone with dyslexia, I don't like it.
Yeah, but even as someone without dyslexia, that like the whole thing of new cars, new cities, new format, I can't read that properly. Like that actually hurts to read it. Like
so
I can't.
horrific.
Yeah.
It's taken me 3 times to read one sentence.
How do you go from something so gorgeous and slick to something an 8-year-old would create if you gave them a project?
It was so.
It's a big
good.
thing for me, because like I saw a tweet and it was really, really true. And it's like and it was basically the website of before the rebrand and after. And it was like, one of these looks like a racing series and the other doesn't. And obviously it's the old one that does.
Like Formula E is
I think it's annoying because
not more inclusive.
It looks like it's like a Hoover brand. And I know it's the whole thing of like, oh, Formula E is like Dyson, blah, blah, blah. But it looks like a Hoover brand. And I don't like it.
No.
It just, you can't be taken seriously when it genuinely looks like something a primary school
that's
child
the
would
thing.
make. You've gone from looking so nice and professional. Like, I do believe Formula E needed a bit of a revamp, but not backwards.
But not like that.
Not like that.
I think I'm not a fan of the Gen 3 car, like the.
Oh, I think it's so sexy.
See, I don't like the angles.
Oh,
it doesn't surprise me that
it looks so much less spaceshipy.
I realised my opinion of why I didn't like it, because it looks like something from the 2000. It looks like a 2000 graphic.
I know we're doing Y2K right now, but this is not what they meant.
From like the front, it looks okay, but when it does like an overhead thing, I just think it looks like a paper aeroplane.
That's
Like when you fold up a paper
So
aeroplane,
much
that's what
better.
it looks
I like
like.
paper
Over.
So
aeroplanes.
much better than the fucking spaceship. However, I do
Mm.
have a piece of the Gen 2 car, so now I need to keep the collection growing and get a piece of the Gen 3 car.
True. Very true.
For anyone wondering, I have a bit of carbon fiber. It's there somewhere. I don't know if this crops up on my camera when I put it in the thing when I set up the screen. But up there I have a piece of insert photo on the screen of carbon fiber from one of the Gen 2 cars.
Who knows who? Because there are so many crunches around.
I
Just
have
that
a
we have
feeling
no
it's
idea.
Oh my God.
Andre Lotterer because he did crunch that wall very, very hard and very loud.
True.
And I remember
they
seeing
all
bits
crunched.
flying off the car.
They crunched so massively.
They do. They're coming. It was because we
Major
sat on the
crunch.
attack mode. So as they come out of the
Fucking
attack mode, it was on there.
That was
so.
such a good place to sit.
It was,
Yeah.
and now they've got rid of
was.
attack mode. This is a Formula
You
E.
have to pier.
I would say this is a Formula E hate podcast, but we all actually really, really
It's
love
not. I
Formula
love
E.
you for more.
We love Formula
fucking
E,
love
but these
Formula E.
changes are
Yeah, no.
ridiculous.
Formula E so
Removing attack mode for pit stops. You're not F1. Go back to where you
That's
came
the
from.
thing.
Go back to where you came from.
No, but they had
don't
pit
get-
stops first and then got rid of them.
Yeah.
Exactly, as
But
they should have.
Because people like Alex Lynn. Sorry to bring up him again.
Alex
Is it a
who?
podcast without Alex Wynn? Is it a podcast without me bringing him up? No. Like he really struggled with the pit stops because he is so tall, and obviously in like Gen 2, Gen 1 even, they had to like swap cars.
Hmm.
And I don't think they're doing that still. I hope
No,
not.
I don't
I
think
have
so.
no clue how these pit stops are going to work.
But I
I think it was,
reckon
like, a
there's
quick
a
charge.
sure chance. But there's a chance like it could be like the whole London Grand Prix situation with Lucas Degrassi where he stopped but didn't actually stop and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like that could happen. And,
But
yeah,
I don't get why you
I
put
don't
so
like it.
much effort and time into getting rid of the pit stops in Formula E to just then bring them back.
Yeah.
Like, they put so much effort to, first of all, change that, to then get taken seriously about it, because people were, like, very off about attack mode, and they thought it was like Mario Kart, and no one took it seriously. But after a couple of, like, races and seasons, everyone's like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. And now you're
Yeah.
changing the whole thing back, and everyone hates it, and I don't get why. Why do you spend so much time and effort just to change it back?
Why change something that's already perfect?
Literally.
Yes, Katie.
So I was on the Formula E website anyway because I was looking at the ugly design on the
Oh,
car.
your eyes.
And it says that the collaboration for the new Gen 3 cars has resulted in the development of a battery capable of receiving 4 kilowatts an hour of energy inside 30 seconds, delivered by a 600 kilowatt booster. Don't know. Mandatory 30-second attack charge stop during a predetermined period in the race will unlock 2 enhanced attack mode periods to be deployed later in the race, where the power output of the Gen 3 race cars will increase from 300 kilowatts to 350 kilowatts. Attack charge is set to be trialled at select races later in Season 9. The existing attack mode format of a temporary power boost activated by drivers during the race will be maintained in races where attack charge is not implemented, and then fan boost has been discontinued. So London is a trial.
Yeah.
For the
Which
new
we knew
attack
because we
charge.
saw the horrific new track layout.
Yeah,
Horrific
it's
track layout.
atrocious.
It's awful. It's
But
awful.
the thing
so
is that
bad.
they could have kept that that corner
Yeah.
that they did for attack mode, because that was such a lovely corner,
It
because
was such
they
a
actually
good
did
corner.
wheel to wheel racing,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
showed the ones that were committing to the corners and ones that were sort
Yeah.
of, and like the lockups in that lot. It was such a good sort of set of corners to be
Yeah.
sat at.
Mhm.
We got to watch
And
Nick
I
nearly
think
drive into the wall.
Because he was
Because they
waving at
wanted to
us.
wave at us.
The idiot. And
And
Andre just going to us.
Yeah.
Andre knowing he was a boss and just being like, yeah.
Andre.
Andre.
Antonio. So sorry, Antonio.
You just called Andre Lotterer a boss. Clip it.
I mean, he's sponsored by Boss.
Sure, that's what you meant.
Oh, that was true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, Antonio. I love you.
I love how we were like,
love you,
this is an
Antonio.
F2 podcast and we've discussed Extreme E
no,
and
dude.
Formula E.
Formally.
Sorry.
See.
I take the blame for that.
It's alright, but you know what? This is great because now we can use the quiz to then segue us back into F2.
Sure.
Because
let's do it.
it's an F2 quiz.
Okay. I'm not
Right, let me
ready
get my
for this.
notebook out.
Because I absolutely love F2, but my knowledge is so bad.
My knowledge, it depends if it's this year or like...
Naomi, you're literally a walking, like...
I
how do you
should
say
preference that it is technically a GP2/F2 quiz.
Okay, no, I'm out. That's it.
Let's go!
I didn't watch F2 until like 2019, so GP2
I didn't watch F2 since 2020, Celeste.
Yeah, but again, you remember like everything. You remembered Logan Sargent racing for some Turkey-ish team in Homs.
Leave Racing Team Turkey alone.
I could name you some other drivers that raced for them.
Oh no.
Nick DeVries, Jack Aitken. Well, they're technically part of the Algarve racing team.
See, these are all
they also
words
race
I've
in
never
WEC.
heard.
These are all to do
And
with
obviously Le Mans.
WEC. You should know these things.
Okay.
Even I knew this, and you forced me into it this year.
Okay.
Is everybody ready for the quiz?
I am quiz ready.
Yes.
No.
Everyone got notebooks at the ready.
I don't know why I have one because I know nothing about Formula 2 and GP2s.
I'm going.
All I have to say is the first question is probably the easiest question of them all.
Okay.
So when I get this
one,
wrong,
the first one, we jump
when you
out.
get this wrong, you are screwed. Got it?
Fun.
Right.
Question number 1. Who is the last GP2 Drivers' Champion?
Oh, easy. Wait.
GP2.
Last GP2 Drivers' Champion. So
What year is that?
And then they
Before
went to FIA
changed.
Formula 2.
Okay. That I actually know.
I don't know.
Oh, did you?
I do
no,
know.
I can't
Wait.
say that. I'll say
year
it.
was it?
If you work back through the years.
Yeah, I don't know when GP2 then became F2. Like, I genuinely have no
It
I know, but I don't know.
Was
Like, I know nothing about.
2016 was the last year.
Okay, so I know who it is then. Thanks.
Oh. I'm
Around
probably
from
going to get murdered
2005 to
by...
2016.
Was that the year that he was a rookie?
Oh god.
I don't know. I'm guessing one person that was around that time.
Okay.
You can't say it.
3, 2,
I made
1.
notes because...
Okay, Charles Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, Pierre Gasly. It is Pierre Gasly! I specifically said as well.
No. I literally was like, it's this year, I know it is.
I don't know. Was he not? I don't know. And I was like, oh gosh, she's not gonna know. Oh god.
Oh dear.
She's muted, so I don't know what she's feeling about.
She's just ranting about it, but she's muted.
No, I genuinely do not know anything. No, I like as in,
Poor Pierre.
you're laughing, but I genuinely know nothing about Formula 2.
No, it does make me
It's
chuckle
okay.
though that what's it called, that you put Charles Leclerc, because we made, was it last week we made the joke about Charles Leclerc having the French national anthem played when he won the F2 championship.
Yeah, but I couldn't remember whether it was GP2 or F2 that
You
he
know
had
what
it
though,
played at.
you were close. He was 2017, so
Yeah, because he was the year after, so.
Yeah, that's because that's why I was trying
Who
to say.
was
I couldn't remember
2018?
who. But then,
Nick.
oh yeah,
so
Nick.
did Pierre join?
Nick.
Pierre joined F1 the year before Charles then.
No, was it George? Was Nick 2019?
Nick was not George was Nick was 2020.
Who are we missing then?
George 2019.
Wait, what are we talking about?
George
George
2018. Fucking hell. George
Who was
2018.
2019 then?
Nick must have been 2019.
Yeah,
2020,
2019.
2020 was Mick
Yeah,
Schumacher.
Nick.
yeah.
21 Oscar Piastri, 22 thingy. So who was in between Charles and George?
What, 27? Wait, 20...
Yeah, 2017.
I've got it out there. No,
2018.
2017 was Charles
No,
Leclerc.
I want to
There
guess this.
Oh, 2016, Pierre.
Yeah.
I don't know why we were saying. Yeah, No, there was no one we're missing.
Oh, yeah,
2016 was Pierre
yeah, okay.
Gasly. 2017.
And then, okay.
2017, Charles
Yeah.
Leclerc. 2018, George Russell. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do you know who won 2015? Go on, Katie. It's your other favourite man.
Lando Norris.
Is it? What are we asking? What are we asking?
Your Formula E boy.
Stop.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop.
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 Okay, now it's gonna go downhill. I
Question
feel
number
like.
2, keeping on the theme of GP2.
Oh fuck.
There are 3 points up for grabs to this. I have accidentally just given you the answer to one about 5 minutes prior.
Stoffel.
No. Who was the first GP2 drivers champion? And which team did they drive for in which year? So the driver, the team, and what year it was. And I did accidentally tell you guys the team. Not the team. I accidentally told you guys the year.
Wait.
So
Rephrase.
who was the first GP2 drivers champion? Which team did they drive for? And in which year? And I told you the year, forgetting that this was the next fucking question.
Good job for you. I don't pay attention.
Same here.
I was like, oh yeah, GP2 ended in 2016, but it started in this year.
I don't know who the driver is, but I think that's what.
The team is a team that is still racing in F2, by the way.
Right.
I will give you a hint.
Oh,
The driver made it to F1 and did quite well. The team is still in F2, and the year I gave you, and it was after Naomi was born.
All right.
Like the year I was born.
It was not the year you were born.
After the year.
After the year you were born.
Well, good thing I know when Naomi was born.
So
I actually have no clue, so I don't give a shit about what answers I give now. So
I don't know who won.
I'm with you now. This is not my.
You need to give me a sec. I'm thinking.
That's fine.
I'm gonna think. I spelling is not good.
So I know for a fact that I'm pretty sure this driver didn't race for this team, but I put a driver on the team.
Sorry,
I didn't even put a driver on because I have no
2005 correct. 2005 correct. ART correct.
Oh.
And it was Nico Rosberg.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why I put
So
Hecky over the line.
wait,
and
so
it
Naomi
just
got
came to mind.
2. You guys got 1.
See, that's why I know for a fact that Checo didn't race for Prema, but I just put a team and a name that I thought would have been around.
No, I just said ART because I know they've
I
been
said
around
Prema.
like the longest.
Yeah.
Prema only joined when it went to F2. Well,
yeah,
no. Sorry, ignore me. I'm being stupid.
In
Ignore
my.
me.
For me,
Pierre
Piers
Gasly
been
won
there
the
since
Prema.
I started.
Yeah, I was being stupid.
Okay.
All right.
So
Stop giggling.
since GP2 in 2005, how many drivers champions have moved to F1 from GP2 and F2?
Oh.
But they had to have
How many
completed.
years?
They have to have completed a full season. So this does not include test drivers. These are drivers that have graduated.
Okay.
Drivers champions.
Oh,
So people who have won GP2 or F2 and have graduated and raced at least one season in F1. And this is the question that I fucked up earlier.
Wait,
I'm thinking. So
until now.
how long?
Up
has
until
it
now.
been
For me,
since-
it's an
So you've got
The season after they went to F1, or just at any point.
So, for example, here, so Nick de Vries won in 2020, but he has graduated to F1, so he counts.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So
Thank
if you
Right,
could,
we're
obviously, if you could do math 2005 to 2022, then you know it's got to be in that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I counted all the F2 because I know them, and then I just added up some random numbers, hoping that's.
And this is the one that I said it's a mad statistic because I thought it was much, much lower than what it was. And it's it's surprisingly not as low as you think it is.
I've added some more
Okay, I'm
random
checking
But I
numbers.
it
did accidentally. So the reason I phrased it this way, I can't tell you the answer. because it's one of the questions.
Wait, what was the question again?
Since GP2 in 2005, how many drivers champions have moved to F1 from GP2 and F2?
Oh.
Who have moved
I'm gonna go...
to F1? They have moved to F1 from GP2 and F2. I will give you guys one up, one down. So say the answer for whatever reason was 30, which it's obviously not because it's 2005 to 2022. That's why I'm doing this. You would have 29, 30, or 31. You know.
Okay.
Okay.
Hit me with it, bitches. 12, 15, and 12. It was 14.
Oh, fuck!
Nice!
This is what I mean by it's
my language.
so much higher.
Originally I had 10, and then you said...
Huh?
What drivers didn't graduate?
So you have Giorgio Pantano in 2008. Davide Valsecchi in 2012.
I'll say it. Davide Valsecchi. You know how to pronounce that man's name.
He is amazing. I love him.
Fabio Lemaire in 2013 and Felipe Drugovich 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
See, if you think about it like that, because we always complain that F2 drivers don't make the step up to F1, but when you say it like this, I'm like, well, actually, it's not that bad.
How many drivers did you just list? 4. But hasn't it only been 17 years since 2005?
2005,
But this was the 17th year.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 18.
Oh, I counted 17.
Okay, so similarly, how many drivers from GP2 and F2 have graduated to F1 since 2005? So obviously it's going to be much higher. So drivers who are racing in GP2 and F2 and have graduated to F1. If you want a bonus,
I understand.
If you want a bonus point and you can tell me how many were in F2 and how many were in GP2, you can have bonus points, but that is up to you. I just want an overall answer. So this is an accumulative of GP, similarly, how many drivers from GP2 and F2 have graduated to F1?
Oh, not that have won. Okay.
No. So obviously in
is this including ones that have won?
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously in 2018, George Russell won, so he would have been one for the other, but also you had Lando and Alex all graduated up to F1, so, that cumulatively becomes a 3.
It was...
I put this number, I feel like it's going to be higher.
It is,
is it really high?
When you think about how many drivers have driven, yeah.
I'm on full-on guess mode, this quiz.
Okay, I'm getting higher than what my thing was.
I'm on that. That.
Yeah, you can also make educated guesses if you wanted to be like, oh, X amount were from F2 and X amount were from... Yes, you can have one up, one down. Say if you want to be like, if you want to have bonus points, then obviously you can say X amount were from F2 and X amount from GP2, and you can come up with random numbers if you want. But
it's me. I'm random numbers this quiz.
Oh shit, hang on. No, it's going to be a lot higher than that. Fucking hell, I'm going to go that. And then I'm going to say... Hang on, I can do the F2.
I actually should know the F2. Yeah, I was going to say I should know the F2. Oh, I should not crowd in my...
Joellen goes yelling at me.
I think I'm about right. Shouldn't be too far off.
I don't know, I've just made a guess.
I'm gonna go that.
I might be far off with my GP2, but I shouldn't be too far off enough to. I hope.
Well, obviously, the GP2 and the F2 should add up to your large amount.
Yeah, I checked that like 10 times.
Okay, what have we got? Naomi's muted. 26, 12 and 14, 23, 8 and 15, 30, And then no, it didn't. It was in fact 49.
Do I get points because I'm the closest?
No. Wait.
One
How
up, one
many?
down.
How many did you put for F2, Katie?
12.
It was
Is it
14.
13?
It was
I got
14.
15.
14.
That's one up, one down.
That is one up, one down. And I will be nice and give Katie the point because she is really far behind.
I got it for GP2.
14, so I had one
Yeah,
more.
so there was
I counted someone who's not in F1.
there's 35 from GP2.
I might have put Kellerman. I might have pounded a finger there.
Okay, this one, a nice true or false question.
Ah, love that. Watch me get it wrong.
So, true or false? A GP2 drivers' champion raced in Formula 1 prior to racing in GP2.
Again.
Sorry.
So they went from F1 down to GP2 and then back up to F1. Oh no,
Just went back down to GP2.
and then
A GP2 drivers' champion raced in F1 prior to GP2. So they raced in F1 and they went, I'm going to GP2.
fuck it. It's a 50-50. Let's go with that. It seems oddly specific.
I know who it is.
Okay,
Oh.
there you go. Then it's true then.
no.
Gone. True.
It's true.
True.
Wait, my phone is true. It's
So,
true.
well, there's two people who it could be.
Yeah.
Roberto Meri.
No, he didn't win a the GP2 championship.
Okay, Roman Grosjean.
No. Unless he did as well.
Who was it then?
Romain Grosjean. He definitely didn't go from F1 to GP2, you donut. He retired.
Oh, he went from F1 and then
It was Giorgio
did Indy.
Pantano.
I thought you said he didn't get into F1.
He didn't
No,
get
he
into
did.
F1. He was in F1.
Right.
He didn't graduate. This is what I meant by I had to word it correctly.
Was
How many drivers' champions have moved to F1 from GP2? But he raced with Jordan in Formula
Right.
1 in 2004. In 2004, and then 2005 he went to GP2 and spent until 2008 there.
That's actually funny.
A little backwards. Okay,
Sounds-
the final question before the bonus question.
Alright.
The bonus question is a long boy, and it's the reason why I could not give you answers earlier. But the last question is around Imola. So this is recorded as of the 2022 season, by the way.
Okay.
Around Imola, the F2 car is approximately 15 seconds slower per lap than a Formula 1 car. But how much
Right.
faster is the F2 car per lap around Imola compared to the LMP1?
Jesus.
LMP1?
Right,
Doesn't exist
LMP1?
anymore.
Yeah, what LMP1 are we talking about now? The previous LMP1 or
Hypercar or like LMP1?
Fuck. Hang
or
on.
LMP2?
Hang on. I gotta scroll. I gotta scroll.
Sitting here going, what the fuck's an LMP1?
It just says, as of 2022, the F2 lap record for the Imola circuit, while roughly 15 seconds per lap slower than Formula 1, is blank seconds per lap faster than LMP1 sports cars.
Do you know what?
LMP1. Okay, let's just take the old LMP1.
And when
I
I
guess.
search LMP1, when I click LMP1, it just comes up with Le Mans prototype.
Yeah, that's
Which
hyper.
one? Which one?
Well,
I'm
we have to
assuming
guess anyway,
I'm assuming
I guess, so.
LMP1.
But
So
Okay.
this is the speed of the 2022 car, F2 car, compared to the LMP1 car when it existed.
Well, like LMP1 is technically LMP2 now, but it's also.
Just guess a fucking number, and I've already told you it's seconds.
5.
Yeah, okay, I'll just. Yes, Katie.
Did you say 5?
What?
Did you guess 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I've gone
I'm
2.5.
still calculating.
Sorry.
I'm not big braining it. I've just guessed a number.
Can I just say that me getting the first answer wrong is the most heartbreaking thing. Bear in mind, I went on Twitter today, and there was a fucking photo of him on the GP2 podium.
Oh
gosh.
Okay,
babe.
Celeste,
And
what
I
did you
just
go
looked
with?
at it last
7
seconds.
seconds. Katie went 5. Naomi went 2.5. It is in
0.5.
fact 5 seconds.
Ooh. Amazing.
Katie sat there and goes 5.
Nice one.
Katie literally sat there and went 5, and I literally went. Oh my god. Okay, so Celeste's on 5 points.
Right.
Naomi and Katie
Shit
are both
points.
on 4. So
How
Oh,
the fuck have I done
kill me
that?
all.
I have no clue.
I'm genuinely sitting here. The fucking.
I hate my knowledge on
I'm
things
baffled.
that.
You've done this. Can you do a touring cars quiz, please?
Oh god. Oh god.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna do a quiz. It's gonna be a touring car quiz.
the bonus question. Okay.
Right. I
This is
feel like
where
I
I
need
knew.
to
They're gonna be
notepad
all
up.
the champions.
Name the drivers' champions who have graduated to F1. The drivers' champions who have graduated to F1.
GP2
Graduated.
How many are
and
there?
F2.
GP
definitely
from
myself.
2005 to 2022.
How many?
I hate you.
14. You answered the question earlier. There's 14.
Okay.
Right.
And
Give me a second.
I will tell you the years that they didn't. It was 2008 didn't graduate, 2012, 2013, and 2022 did not graduate
So-
to F1.
So
Oh,
wait, did that again?
perfect.
2008.
2008, 2012, 2013, and 2022 did not graduate to F1. So you have 2005 to 2007, 2009,
yearing it as well?
2011. If it makes it easier for you, but I don't care if you give me the years or not.
It does make it a bit.
So there are 14 bonus points up for grabs here. And we have discussed a
Jesus.
shit ton of the people that it was. So.
Wait. No. Wait.
Every...
Oh, from Pierre Gasly on, I should be fine because we just named a lot of them.
2013 was that
Well, you didn't graduate,
Alec?
so it doesn't matter.
No. No, but I want to know. Ooh.
Fabio Lima.
Oh, okay.
He
I don't
took,
know. I
he
have it in
took,
my brain that Alex won it F2 for some reason.
he took 1 pole, 3 wins, 7 podiums, 1 fastest lap, 201 points, and he clinched the title in race 21 of 22.
Oscar counts, right?
Do you want? Do you guys want to know which year got the most points? Like which driver got? I'm not going to tell you the driver's name, obviously, but do you want to know which year the most points were won for the championship? It was 2015. 741.5 points. They took 4 poles, 7 wins, 16 podiums, and 7 fastest laps.
Damn, that man's impressive. I think I know who it is.
I'm missing.
Wait,
two
I did
people.
say it about 10 minutes ago, so you should
I've
do.
got,
Yeah, I know,
I've got
but
13.
brain.
You got 13.
It could possibly be 12. Because I can't remember which one you said earlier.
I'm
So I
missing
went for
2.
And then there's one of them that I know, and the only reason that I fucking know is because there is a picture when I was eating at Brands Hatch in front of me, and I cannot forget the name because of a certain person in our friend group.
Yeah,
It just goes
what I
on
forgot.
and
That's
on.
what I forgot. I have him now. I forgot him.
Oh, Jenny Craig is screaming right now at her
Yeah,
computer. Like,
that's
Of
yeah!
course, of
That's the
course.
only reason.
Oh, I'm
that I have a
missing
photo,
one.
and every time I'm like, do I send a photo to Jenny, or will she actually have a mental breakdown?
Completely
because there's a
forgot about
photo?
him.
What year are you
It was
missing,
14.
Celeste?
It
2014.
was 14, right? In total.
He will,
14 in total.
Yeah.
What year?
No, I have
what year are you
13.
missing?
I don't know.
Or like
Someone.
what
I
kind of
don't
like
know if they
year?
actually won it.
Like around what kind of
I have
year
someone.
are you?
I
like,
don't know if they.
GP2.
Yeah.
I have all the F2 ones.
GP2.
But this person did not go to F1, so no.
So
Oh, I'm missing 2. Wait,
so
1, 2.
GP2. So you would have 2016, 15,
Oh.
and 14. 13 and 12 is Nolpois. You've got 11, 10, 9, 7, 6, and 5. You should have 5, 6, and 7 for sure. I'm assuming it's probably 9, 10, or 11 you're stuck with.
I think so, yeah. So I don't know the order they want it in.
I did it wrong.
So I don't know which year I'm missing.
Person.
It's fine. I'll miss one. I can't get to it.
1,
I don't know.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
actually only got 10.
I'm just trying to think of my brain. Brain does not work.
The 9, 10, and 11 was won by ART, Rapax, and Dams, if that's anything.
No.
1, 2, 3,
I still
4,
don't.
5,
You
6,
can ask
7,
me now.
8,
I
9.
barely know
I have
any
11
teams and to
possibly
try.
10.
Like I can't connect them.
You have 11, possibly
No,
10.
Yeah, but can I go?
I don't know if this person. I'm just naming a lot of people that I think won it and just hoping for the best.
Fair enough. Don't name Logan Sargent though, because he never won a feeder series.
We are talking about GP2, aren't we?
GP2
Or
and
F2
F2,
as well.
both of them.
Oh, so I crossed out those names and they were right.
2005 to 2022.
Oh yeah, it's 18. Ooh. Right, I've crossed them out, but they are part of my answers. Okay, so I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 16, possibly 15.
Cool.
Wait, I'm just trying to
Oh,
break 1, 2, 3,
15.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Because
11, 12,
I'll explain
13.
it.
Okay, you just okay.
We need to try and think of one more Naomi to potentially beat Katie here.
Yeah, but
Wait,
like,
who
even then,
can I
I'm probably
beat
wong.
anyone?
You're
Where am I in the
You're
you're,
winning.
you're already ahead by 1 point.
Oh. That's nice. But I'm missing that 1 point now, because if I'm ahead by 1 point, we will all be in equal points if they get all 14.
I'm just
right?
trying to think. Like, I
Sounds
have
like
people I
13.
don't think won it.
What am I missing?
No, because you'd still be ahead of me if I got all of them right. Which,
Oh, I was being really
Oh,
stupid.
because I've only got 6. Did I say 16?
I hope you guys have the hazard.
Which one?
The
Which
pit
hazard?
spinner. The pit spinner.
The hazard.
The pit spinner.
The
I always.
Formula.
I know what you mean by
The Formula One
pit spinner.
hazard.
I have them. I have the 14.
Hazard.
Well, now I have more than 14, but you've said something, so I.
He is a hazard.
I love the
He was
pit
a
spinner.
hazard.
It's him.
He was a massive hazard.
Yeah, no, I have him now. Oh, I forgot about him.
Did he?
I didn't know he was a champion. Like I
Was he
officially knew he was
champion?
F1. Yeah, apparently he was a champion.
Wait.
I knew he very randomly won a race somewhere in F1 one time,
Did he?
or podium
We
or
just knew
something.
him, don't we?
No, he
I
won
don't
it.
know if I'm thinking of the same person as you're thinking of.
The pit spinner. I always call him the pit spinner because he spun in the pit once.
Yeah, he took a win. He took a win.
Yeah, he took a win, right? That was the most weird thing ever.
A win.
He was on the-
apart.
Wait, are we?
He was on
Are
the
we talking
podium with
about-
Kimi and Alonso.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I'm-
it's definitely that person then. Yeah, no, I'm with it. It's definitely. Oh fucking hell!
Come on, Naomi. You know the hazard.
I don't know if I do.
If I know the hazard, you know the hazard.
He had a pretty
It's
car. I
weird.
like
What
that
does
car
that
actually.
mean?
He's literally the only thing he is noted for in F1 is being a serial hazard.
Like he is worse than Nicholas Latifi and Mazepin
he
put
is.
together.
He is
I
basically
don't know who it is
basically Mahavir if he made it to F1.
Oh
I think
yeah,
I know.
worse even.
Wait. Do I?
Me yesterday, we were playing Ring of Fire, and it was like, wait, was it F1 chat?
We were doing F1 champions and she just goes Mahavir.
I don't know.
Nice.
I ran
I
out.
would go Mahavir.
I just see all
Right,
the memes on Mahavir. So
I should have all
I'm
14 then.
I've got it.
Can
I
say-
think
can
I
say
don't know what I'm
one I'm
doing.
getting confused at? My one that I'm not sure.
Yeah.
2, maybe 1.
What's the one you're not sure on?
So I know that you said it was Nico, but I couldn't remember. I didn't know whether it was Nico or Nico, so I just put both and then hope for the best.
It's both.
It is both.
It's both Nikos.
I'm
At
missing. I'm missing one. I'm missing Uno Rico.
Which Nico are you missing?
Hulk.
Oh, you
Oh.
silly
I like to
sausage.
forget he exists. I don't like
Okay.
that man.
So, I'll go from the bottom up. You just have to confirm or deny whether you have this. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
2021, Oscar Piastri.
Yes.
2020, Mick Schumacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
2019, Nick de Vries.
Yes.
Yes.
2018, George Russell.
Yes.
Yes.
2017, Charles Leclerc.
Yes.
Yes.
2016, Pierre Gasly.
Yes.
Yes.
2015, Stoffel Van Dorn.
Yes.
Yeah.
2014, Jolyon Palmer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eventually, but
So
yes.
now this is where we then get to the bit where you'll start getting confused. 2011, Romain Grosjean.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
2010, Pastor Maldonado,
Yeah, there he is.
the F1 hazard.
There he is.
2009, Nico Hulkenberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
2007,
Can I ask?
yes.
Is that a clock?
It is
that
Clark.
Clark?
It's
He's going
Clark.
slowly. He's going slowly.
He was not going slowly in GP2, that's for sure. Did you not get Timo Glock?
Yeah.
You missed Glock.
Oh.
I missed what?
It's Naomi
It
going
was
slow.
Glock.
Naomi going
I'm
slow.
going
slowly.
2008.
I
No,
just think that's
2008.
something good.
Fuck's sake. I can't believe I just said 2008.
2006.
This
How counting works.
I get it. I get that you linked that with 2000. I get it. It's okay.
2006, Lewis Hamilton.
So then this is
Aw.
2016.
Yeah.
And 2005, Nico Rosberg.
Yes.
So, I'm assuming. So Naomi got 12.
Well,
Celeste got 14.
Yes.
And Katie also got 14. I don't know if that was a yes or a no.
You did it right, didn't you?
Pretty sure my phone is very close to dying. So
Oh god. You got 14, right, Katie?
Yeah.
See, you were like, oh my god, you're going to storm this. No.
So
the only
No.
the only reason that I do well on the bonus points is because I just write a random bunch of names down. And
Yeah.
Do you want to see the other names I've got written down?
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it.
So I've got Esteban Ocon. I've got
Fair enough
Lucas
with that.
Di Grassi. I've got Antonio Felix Acosta, and I've got Valtteri Bottas. Because you said pit lane spinner, so I was like Val. 'Cause
Oh, yes.
that's Valtteri for me.
by the way, the results. Naomi, what earrings are you wearing? Oh, the moon ones look like some I have. So I was like, oh, do we have the same earrings? Okay, we don't, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So in P3 ended up with Naomi on 16, Katie in P2 with 18, and Celeste back on top again with 19. You haven't-
Naomi's like a walking encyclopedia. She's gonna do so well.
Poor Naomi, but at least that leads us on to
Chloe.
cover.
I'm a very good guesser here.
At least this
It
leads
was
us
like-
on to talk about F2 Abu Dhabi. The finale.
F2 Abu Dhabi.
One thing I do hate about F2 going to Abu Dhabi is the 2-month wait between the last race and then Abu Dhabi. Like 2 months off.
Yeah,
What is the point?
it's so long.
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah,
point?
It's
just
so
finish it.
Literally just
I'm.
send them to Brazil at
just sad
least
for
if you're
chat.
going to make them stay
Oh,
wait that
yeah,
long.
Brazil.
No,
Oh.
no, we can't go to Brazil now that Felipe Drugovich is not there. We can't.
Oh, yeah, that would be quite
That
sad.
would be rude.
No, but
That would
we'd
be
let
rude.
him do like one race,
Yeah.
Yeah.
one
exactly.
round, just for Felipe.
But at least talking about Felipe, I'm going off of Celeste's notes here. Sprint race, Felipe, mega race.
Mega race. Yeah,
Mega
he
race.
made so many. To be fair, his whole weekend was just mega. He had so many great overtakes. He came, well, not from the back of the grid, but he came quite often position that you wouldn't expect to be on the podium. But then again, it's F2. But it was just pure down to racing. It wasn't like very weird stuff happened for him to be in the podium. He just raced for it. He had brilliant overtakes, and he just, mega weekend, mega race. Really good.
Yeah, but prior to this mega race, your first statement on here is Fittipaldi and Deruvla crash, which first
That
lap,
was
red flag.
first lap crash, red flag. It was a scary
That
crash.
was scary.
That
Yeah,
was
because
scary.
he was like
Yeah.
in the barrier. Almost half of the car was in
Like,
the barrier.
literally,
Yeah,
that
and he was
car
there
was
for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah,
Jamie
it
said
just
that the
looked very
car was
scary.
like broken, looked like it was broken in half. But I don't know whether it was because of how it was in the barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half of it was
Yeah.
just in the barrier.
It was
Yeah.
strong.
It was I started doing a bit of like live tweeting during that, and then that happened, and I was like, yeah, no, can't do that anymore. Because I was just like, this is a lot of stress for a Saturday morning.
Literally, yeah.
But
Stressful.
yeah, that was quite scary because it took him a while to get out of the car as well. As in Jerusalem,
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
Enzo got out okay, but
Yeah.
even then, Enzo's had some bad crashes over the years, and it was quite worrying.
It was good to see Enzo just run straight over to like the red
Yeah.
light to make sure he was alright.
Yeah.
Well, were they at Premier at the same time? Question mark?
I don't think so. I think Enzo left the year before he joined. Derivada joined.
In 2019.
I love it when drivers go over and say like check to see if the other drivers are like okay.
Yeah, my
But
favourite
it always
instance of
takes you
this
back.
was Italy
Don't even.
2021.
Yeah, the video where he's like running over to check it's okay, the other one's running away thinking he's gonna punch him. That's my favourite.
Oh, I love that too.
Oh yeah.
No, I was
That was
thinking
my
about
favourite
when
thing.
Max mounted Lewis and then just looked
Oh
at
yeah,
him and
no,
went,
no.
"Oh, my
Cool.
car's on top of you. I know what a shame. Bye."
I was thinking a
No, no,
complete
I
different
know.
race.
But
Were
yeah,
you thinking
no.
of George and?
No.
I do not
Oh, funny.
condone.
Maybe.
I do not condone George Russell's accident.
No, me either.
I do not.
Accent.
I do not condone George Russell's behavior in that.
Behaviors. Yeah, I don't either. Just don't
No,
make
that video
very
though
clear.
is iconic.
At least he checked
I
he was
was
okay
iconic.
first. He went over and was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, so he went.
And then called him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
it was
punched
funny.
But no, who
At
is
least
it
he
in
checked
that
he was
video?
okay
The one with
first.
running away.
At least he checked he was okay first before he punched him.
Yeah.
He,
Kind of
he
very
redeemed.
considerate.
He redeemed himself in Silverstone when he leaped out and just sprinted and gave up his whole race
Oh,
for it.
don't. That was so lovely.
True.
Don't even that. That's still. I don't like to talk about Silverstone this year. It makes me sad.
It makes me sad that I nearly died climbing a cliff just to make it home for this stupid race, to sit down and get red flagged immediately. But at least I got to go in the pool while we waited.
Yeah. We had
Makes
a
me
cool break.
sad because he was the reason that I wanted to go to Silverstone. So I wanted to watch George race in Formula One in a Mercedes for his first year. I literally cried in the grandstand that day. That was dreadful.
This is like Kelsey and Dorothy going to Silverstone 2021.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was pretty bad. Did he actually end up passing you on that lap though? Did Max pass you guys like on the first lap?
Yeah, so he went round and went past us, because obviously sat on left field and it happened round the corner. Went round the corner.
George
and
didn't even get to do that. I didn't see that man race.
And then you heard it crash.
I didn't see that man race.
We've got some technical difficulties. It's the three of us until maybe the future. But Celeste's next 2 points on the sprint race is Cordeal Who and then Cordeal Who 2.0.
He is just dreadful.
A new man.
I'm just not a fan of him. He
Neither.
started on the front roll pole even, I think. He absolutely binned that race.
So bad.
He was nowhere to be found. And then
Yeah.
Dennis Hauger tried to overtake him. He ran right. He had to give the position back to Cordeal. So somehow Cordeal still managed to get overtaken by Dennis, even though Dennis was in a tricky situation with cars behind him. And he just had a dreadful race, and I just don't like him. I don't like that he's in F2, and he just had such a good opportunity to show that he can actually do something in that crit, and he just binned it.
Didn't even do that.
See, I'm so upset because obviously in the preseason test, he was testing with Virtuosi. And obviously Virtuosi are my, like, in F2, Virtuosi is, like, the team I root for because they're my local team. Like, they're from, like, 10 minutes down the road from me. You know, I got to support, like, they're my literally most local team that I could ever have. But yeah, and obviously he was testing with Virtuosi, and I was like, I cannot support Virtuosi next year if he is in that seat.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Which is why I never support teams. Like right now, I'm a Mercedes girl. The only reason I'm a Mercedes girl is because my two favorite drivers on the grid are George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, and my most favorite team principal in F1 is Toto Wolff. So, like, you know, it only makes sense. But once all three of them are gone, unless it's a driver I really, really deeply support. I'm not a Mercedes guy anymore. I refuse to vote myself to a team unless it's Porsche and WEC. But I have just always held on to like supporting Virtuosi and always wanted them to do well. And I have liked and loved most of their lineups since they started. And as Virtuosi, I'd like to point out, not what they were before. And it's just gonna be sad to like not want to sit and root for them anymore. If they take him, he's got a pretty bad track record on and off track. So
yeah,
not
a brilliant bloke.
No. But the last point on the sprint was Logan taking risk. So Logan taking risk singular.
Risks, whatever. But obviously Logan was in a tricky situation with the points he needed to get and his championship points and stuff like that. And I know we just had a whole slander about him, but what I do actually like is that in both races, because in the future races, he was taking a lot of risk. He was still overtaking people. He was still genuinely. I can never pronounce that. But yeah, he was genuinely taking risks on track and just putting himself out there. So I really did enjoy seeing that he wasn't playing it safe. So that was good.
Yeah, I do. I love Logan's racecraft. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
he can make some really good overtakes, and he's not like last for like breakers, but he's someone who will take those risks. Obviously, we don't have Daniel on the grid next year, but you have someone. Hopefully, he'll feel confident enough in the car to be able to do it. But if he can do what I think he can do, that would be brilliant.
Yeah. And then if we shimmy on into the feature race, the final race of the F2 season for the year, the race that we do actually sadly say goodbye to a lot of familiar faces. We're saying goodbye to a lot of familiar faces. Obviously, we're saying goodbye to the championship winner, Celeste has written, Felipe Goat Dragovic. We are also saying goodbye to Liam Lawson.
Don't.
And we will be saying goodbye to Marcus Armstrong as well, which all very sad to see them all go. I've rooted for Marcus since he joined F2. I've rooted for Liam Lawson as well, and me, Felipe Dragovic, just rooted for him. Me and Celeste recently have just every single time we're like, Felipe. Literally, if you typed Felipe into like either of our like message searches, there'd be so many messages.
So many.
So
it's like it's crazy to see, like, because for me, like when I joined like motorsport, when I first started watching, it was like Liam in F1. Like one big like bold moment I remember, and it was literally my first weekend watching, was Liam in Hungaroring and his car just leaking all that oil and having that light up flame behind
don't
him.
Remind me. That fucked Max Future's race up, and it actually broke my heart. That actually
it was so sad. But that was like, I remember that so vividly because that was my first weekend watching it, like motorsport, and I watched F2 and F3 those weekends.
Yeah.
So like, and I was instantly like, oh no, poor guy, and I mean obviously still upset about Max. But it's like I did support like Liam and Marcus. It's like really early on, and it's just like weird that now that like not like their time in the paddock's over, because obviously I know Liam's doing a lot of work with Red Bull and stuff, but it's like I don't know.
God,
it's still weird.
Say it. Well, Marcus is rumored to either be an IndyCar or he was seen in Bahrain a couple of weeks back doing the WEC Junior test.
Yes.
So
good.
Porsche.
I would love to see more F2 drivers make the move to WEC.
I know it's my favorite thing ever when they do it.
I know I'm a new WEC. I'm a WEC newbie. I'm a rookie. We'll go with that.
Woo.
And even then, I'm now like, right, I just want to see more like F2 graduates go there. Like the fact that a lot of the time they're leaving and they're like, oh, I can't really do much.
Like
Like, you can
what?
stay in Europe and like if you wanted to. Obviously, IndyCar is always an option. A lot of them do
Yeah.
seem to go to IndyCar, but I'd like to see a lot of them just stay and do like endurance
I
racing and
like,
stuff.
yeah, I think it's a big thing for like F2 drivers looking for other options outside of F2. Because I know the FIA are like massively against it, and they're like, we don't want F2 drivers testing anywhere while they're F2 drivers. It's not happening. You're not allowed. You can't go anywhere else. This is the ladder you are following. You are not going anywhere else. And I think that's dumb. Because like they have, especially with like all their experience in different tires, different kind of things, because they don't have power steering in F2. They feel the tires as they are. Like it's the experience you actually get in F2 and even in F3 sometimes it's massive. So when you see like the drivers in WEC, they go really well, and usually if you see like the top teams, they will be like XF2 or GP2 because the experience that they have is another level.
So it's gonna be just weird not seeing their faces.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's like I don't know. It's like I want to see them stay, but I also understand that like
It would do them no
2
benefit.
million plus euros a year
Oh my god, yeah.
is just extortionate.
It's crazy to me because I feel like, especially when like I started watching in 2020, they're the people that you'd be like, oh yeah, in a couple of years they're going to be fighting for like the F2 championship and shit. And like obviously like they have, but it's like, I don't know. It's almost just like there needs to be this weird like purgatory like championship between F2 and F1 because it's just like it's not working. Something isn't working.
Yeah, like it sucks for me because obviously like Callum was like one of my favorites in F2,
Yeah.
and always wanted to see him get to F1 and other factory races in IndyCar. Like I'm very proud of him and I'm very happy for him racing in IndyCar. He enjoys it very much, but like IndyCar I just can't get into, and it makes me so upset.
We'll get you into it.
I don't know what it is. No, I do know what it is. It's the commentators.
Yeah.
But it makes me
I'll
sad
commentate
because
it
I'm
for you.
like I feel like I can't fully support him when he's in IndyCar because I just can't fathom it. It's just.
But even then, like I think Callum's route through like post F2 was a really good like idea for like the options that F2 drivers have.
Yeah.
Because like obviously he did GT World Challenge, he did
I watched him in GT. I watched every
that was
race.
good.
I've
He
never watched
competed
GT
in
since.
Le Mans. He can, obviously did Indy, and I think that's a really like good thing to explore because it shows that you can really like diverse the talents. Another person who I think is good to look at is Jack Aiken, because he's done quite, he's done GT, he's doing GTs and he's also doing prototypes, and he's tested Indy, and it's just like knowing that you can like diverse your talents through a bunch of series, like
Yeah.
I think that's good to keep in mind, especially you see a lot of people. I think like another person who I'd flag up as someone who's really diverse in what they drive is Robin Frimes.
Yeah.
That man has tested everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. Like he used to drive with Audi in the GTs. He drives with WRT. He does Formula E. He's tested IndyCar. He's tested F1.
He has a great
It's just
CV.
like it's good.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on Robin Frimes' CV. What a brilliant CV that man has.
Do you know
All
who
his
else? Do
championships.
you know who else has a great CV? Sebastian Buemi.
Yes.
His
Yes.
CV, if you look at his racing
He's a
history,
great driver.
it is insane.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah,
is
I did
He's a really good
insane.
driver.
I did a like a Formula E guide last year, and like going through all the drivers,
Same.
looking at everything they did, it's like, oh my god. Another one whose like championships just like are beyond me, and the amount of things that they have competed in is Andre Lotterer.
He's done so much.
Like, when will that man retire? Like, that's kind of my brain, because, like, he's done so much. Like, how is he, like, how?
How? I do love how we've detoured again. We're fucking useless at this. No, we're actually useless at this.
You bring Formula E into it, and I'm off.
You brought Formula E into this.
I bring Formula E into it, and I'm off. That's my idea.
Well,
gets me rambling.
Celeste's next point on this is making me chuckle. Dennis Error Hauger. Not just Dennis Hauger, Error. His middle name is now Error.
Yeah, it's not Error. He made so many errors this weekend, which confused me because he normally isn't someone who is making these weird kind of errors. He like ran off the road a few times and locked up a lot, and he just wasn't feeling himself. I think it was very weird to see him struggle that much. I don't know.
This next point, I don't know how to explain it, Celeste.
Oh god, I don't know. I don't remember what I've written down.
Doohan doesn't like wheels.
Oh yeah, did you not see that?
No.
His wheel just rolled off his car.
In the lead. He was in the lead.
He was in the lead. Came out of the pit.
I need to look this up.
Did like the first, I think it was 1 or 2 corners, maybe even 3. It was all fine. It was doing fine. His wheel was just gone, and it just went over the circus, and other cars were like trying to get around it. It was just, it was such a weird thing.
I'm so unhappy about it.
Yeah, just rolled off while he was doing such a good job that race. It was really sad.
The next one
Jack
is
Doohan deserves better.
Jack Doohan does deserve, but Jack Doohan deserves to be in
100%.
F1 soon. Whether that will happen.
But now, I'm not going to detour. It's fine.
I do have to say that now that Pierre Gasly has joined Alpine, it's not looking good for any of the Alpine Academy drivers.
When does it ever look good for Alpine Academy drivers? When does it ever look good for Alpine Academy drivers?
Never.
Like, even if you go back to the Renault Academy, it just doesn't look good for them.
Yeah, no, they have such a long history of just dropping drivers.
The only drivers that actually went to F1 with Alpine through the academy were Romain and Julian, I'm pretty sure.
And we even established that was fucking years ago.
Yeah. And I'm fuming. I am fuming.
They have dropped more drivers than they have kept.
But it's just like, they treat them, like, even if you look at the grid now, so many of them have been like Alpine Academy or like Renault Academy. Like, even if you look at so many other championships as well, like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't know how they can do that, especially after like a lot of them have been through while being in the academy. It's like, I don't know, they're just ruthless and I hate it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, the next point was obviously Logan still taking risks. Great to see. But we covered Logan and his little risk taking. The next we have is ARTF and Ollie.
Heartbreaking.
When is it not ARTF?
So obviously ART were still in the championship fight for the team fight, and Theo Pourchaire was doing an absolutely brilliant race, brilliant weekend, and his car just set.
Is such a great fucking driver.
He really is, and his car went just off. I don't know what happened exactly, but his car just didn't want to drive anymore. He fell back, and he just had to stop to the side of the road. It was just so sad to see because his race was being really, really good, and obviously ART still being in that fight, it was just all over for them, and it was just really sad to see.
Was it Theo who just got Was it Theo who just got his super license?
Yeah, he got a super license.
That's crazy. That is crazy. He's a Sauber junior, and it does make me think, like, obviously when the time arises that he's able to make the step up into F1, obviously Valtteri Bottas has got quite a long contract, and it would suck. As much as I love Theo as a driver, it would suck to see Joe go.
I'll be fuming.
I'll be actually cry if Joe goes.
Yeah.
I love that. Of course I do, but bye.
Yeah.
To put it simply, like,
I'm only now sometimes my mum back into F1 and she's decided Joe is her favourite driver on that grid,
Good.
apart from George.
Good.
That's because when I used to watch the feeder series and I was sat in the living room, like I say used to, when I used to watch it in the living room, because a lot of the time I just watch it in my room now because I'm barred from watching race cars in the living room half the time. She used to just like every time they'd like the commentators would just yell like Joe's name, she'd just yell it no matter where she was in the house. She would just yell it back, and then just because she just liked his name. And then so when I was watching it once, she came and sat in and she went, which one's obviously because in F2 they call him Guan Yu Zhou. She was like, which one's Guan Yu Zhou? And I was like, hang on, he's that one there. And she was like, and this was when him and Callum were teammates. And she was like, oh, what team does he drive for? And I was like, Virtue AC. And she was like, do we like them? And I was like, they're from Addlestone. And she was, Addlestone? Is it called Addlestone? I should know. It's not that far from me, Gaffer. Oh my god, Attleborough. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I was at Attleborough. She was like, oh, that's not far. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like him. I'm going to support him. And then when he moved it to F1, I sent her the thing on Instagram, and she was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see him in F1. And every time I'm like, oh, F1's this weekend. She'll then ask me at the end of the weekend, how did Joe do? DNF mum. When like the crash happened at Silverstone, I was like, guys, can you rewind it so I can send a video to my mum of the crash? Like, so she
I
knows how
remember
Joe's
that,
done.
yeah.
And I sent it, and she was like, no, Joe, is he okay? And I was like, Mum, I would not send you a video of his crash if he was not okay. What kind of person do you think I am? So I've only just started getting her back into it. She stopped watching it when Michael Schumacher retired. And I don't want to have to tell her that Joe Guan Yu is now out, because then she'll really stop watching it again. And I'll have an issue on my hands. I like trying to get back into it, especially when she just keeps going on about, so when are you going to take me to Monaco Grand Prix?
Yeah.
With what money in my bank, Angela? With what money?
We've been looking at Monaco this year. I just want to do it so bad. I want to do it. I want to do it so bad.
But yeah, so
I do not have the financial capabilities.
As much as I want Turboshed to move up, I don't want it to be in place.
Find a different team, bestie.
Yeah. Go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Go somewhere else. Obviously there was Ollie F as well.
Yeah, his car also said no. Ollie Caldwell. It's just sad to see. After the whole season he's had with everything thrown at him, it's just sad to see him end that season in that way. But also very typical.
He's also an Alpine Academy driver as well, isn't he? So clearly it's not good for Alpine Academy drivers.
Well, it's not, is it?
Really not.
Just not. But he tested the hypercar, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah.
Because which did Marcus test?
I can't remember. I can check.
Please do. Because I remember seeing something and I can't remember which team it was. But I don't know whether it's Alpine or another team.
So the reason I couldn't find him for a while is because everyone else has their surname. So like Correa, J. Tell me why he's Marcus, A. Why is he not Armstrong, M?
Because he's just inconvenient.
But both Marcus and Ollie tested in the same car. And it's the LMP2 with Richard Mille Racing Team.
Richard Mille?
Oh.
But that may not be running next year.
Tio is sponsored by Richard Mille. Because that makes sense.
But that's just what they tested.
Richard Mille aren't even running next year.
It was they're not. It was the 2022.
It's a shame about Richard Mille.
It is such a shame.
Considering everything that they've done for women in motorsports, I am genuinely so sad about it. Like, they've done so much. And it's just...
Okay, the last 3 points are all in caps, so I'm just gonna debrief them all in one.
It's all one note, basically.
That battle for the win, Ayumi Iwasa, Felipe Dragotovic.
Yeah, the last laps of this race, we had a battle between Iwasa and Felipe Dragotovic, and it was just amazing. Felipe Dragotovic. It was just incredible to see, like, the last race of the season, the last racing lap, so we had a good battle for the win. which was just, and obviously Felipe again coming from the middle of the grid, going all the way back to a podium, was on the road for a win, but to be fair, it was an absolutely incredible race, so he deserved it as well. But yeah, just to see those last laps of the last race in the season and still have that battle for the win, it was just so exciting, and it was a really good battle as well.
And it was a nice little send off, I think, for
Yeah.
Dorovic as well, to say goodbye to F2.
Yeah, and MP Motorsport winning the championship. So that was really good as well.
I really appreciate Clement Novalak's contribution to that. I have beef with Clem, so I will slander him. That man yelled at me, telling me to learn my lefts and rights. Mind your fucking business.
I can confirm that she still doesn't know him.
I still don't.
I also don't know my left and right, so don't worry.
I
It's
just
really
remember
bad.
him going, Alice, you need to go left. And I said, okay. And I went right. And he went, Alice, your other left. And I went, okay. And then he yelled at me and said, you need to learn your lefts and rights. We're not going to win if you don't. And then the next round, we were on opposite teams and I shotgunned him to the head.
They're getting angry because we're winning.
I'm most definitely carrying this. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, oh, it's Max.
Yes, I won, Alice.
Good eye, Clem.
We're playing COD, by the way, for preference. We're playing COD. Yeah, so
Oh,
screw
okay.
you, Clement Overlack. Actually, not screw you, though, if you want to get us on the Screaming Meals podcast, Screaming Meals X podcast. I will drink wine and I will chat shit with you about wine. All you fucking want. I'm great with wine. I love wine.
You get me talking motorsport when I'm drunk, I won't shut up.
But I'm only coming on if
Oi.
Marcus keeps the dogs away.
And if you have a special guest in the name of former Walker,
Yes, please.
Juan.
I'd pay anything to drink with that man.
Oh my god, yeah, and
No,
special
I
mention
just-
to Juan for this weekend.
Oh yes, Juan made his Formula 2 race debut since
So good.
we're gonna leave it at that. I think.
Yeah,
Just since.
I'm very
Just
proud of
since.
him.
It was so good to see him back
It's
there.
come a long way.
Yeah.
He has, and it's so nice to see him just being able to get back into it because most people wouldn't be able to. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's- I mean, it's not
Physically,
easy, is
like,
it?
mentally, like the mental
Yeah.
side of getting back
Oh
into
my
that
god.
car,
Yeah.
knowing
Crazy.
that, yeah.
I found it really sweet, like him and Tatiana on the grid again, and it's just like,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. I do want to make one more statement before we go here. This is to Screaming Meals once again. I want to go on your podcast for James. So if James is listening to this, I only want to be there for you. I don't care about the race car drivers. He's my favourite on the Screaming Meals podcast.
James, you were the king.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because
James
the
is
king.
James is just
Statement.
iconic.
It's so iconic. They uploaded, literally we'd started filming this and I checked Instagram because Kate was like, hang on, I'm just doing my work. And I was like, okay. And I was like, they posted another fucking podcast with Jack Crawford. And I'm like, well, now I want to watch it. And I can't because I got to film. And I got to go to
Dude,
bed.
like,
So
he was at Abu Dhabi he sat there with Jack. It's like, sing with the legends, sing with your icons, your heroes.
we don't know what would bring you guys next week. It could be anything. So like, just keep your eyes peeled because it's winter break, motherfuckers. Welcome to hell. However, 7 weeks till race season.
World Cup. Well,
yeah, we have the World Cup.
We have the World Cup. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by and joining us on the podcast. If you are watching on Spotify, Apple, or Google, make sure you give us a 5-star rating because we deserve it. I need to stop saying that. But if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to give it a cheeky little thumbs up. Make sure you follow all of our social medias. They're down in the description. We're trying to get to 100 followers currently on Instagram and TikTok. They're the two that are closest to it. Our TikTok has been popping off recently though, somewhat.
Yes.
Somewhat. Yeah, make sure you also leave us a comment if you're watching on the YouTube, letting us know how well you did in the quiz and in the Guess Who. And we will see you guys Friday for F1. No, it's not F1 charades. It's
It's the
it
second.
is. No, it is. Is it F1 charades? No.
Yeah, it's the second beer pong.
No, the
it's
second
Motorsport
beer pong's
Explained.
already out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Motorsport Explained.
It's Motorsport
It's the
Explained
third.
this weekend.
Yes.
Yes. Because I was like, what
Yes.
day did I schedule the F1 charades?
The
for?
charade is 11th.
Yes. So yeah, Motorsport Explained. Celeste, what are you explaining this week?
This week we're explaining IndyCar. So a good way for Alice to get back into IndyCar.
I'll be showing that to all my mates that I'm trying to get into IndyCar.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
that anyway. And we will also see you guys next Monday. We'll see you guys next Wednesday for another Parked Up episode. Ciao Bella.
Ciao.
Bella. Ciao Bella.
Arrivederci.
Ciao.
Bella, Bella, Bella.
Arrivederci.
Oh,
Buonanotte.
I love how that's become our like.
Arrivederci.
unofficial thing.
Ciao Bella.
Arrivederci.